Welcome back, friends. Welcome back to the homestead. I've just baked this beautiful sourdough loaf using 20% oat flour. If you want to find out how, then stick around and watch the video. Okay, let's talk about sourdough. There'll be a bit of a talky bit, and then we'll get on with actually making it. So you may have some experience with sourdough, you may have no experience at all. You may not think it's for you. That's fine. Sourdough is an acquired taste. It's not particularly sour, but I think it's one of those things that once you get into it, it becomes very addictive. I would call it real bread. The ingredients are very, very simple. At its core, it's just water and flour. It's a little bit more than that, but essentially you can make it from water and flour. There's some clever stuff that's going on there. Now, it's clever because of the starter. The starter, I'm not going to demonstrate how to make a starter in this video, but I'll link to another video someone else has made of how to make it. But here's the magic, here's the muscle. The starter is flour and water, and I've captured the wild yeast from the air. Wild yeast is everywhere, but you need to capture it, and then they gorge on the flour, and it ferments and it produces CO2 and makes the bubbles, and that's what makes the bread rise. So you will need obviously to get your starter going first of all. Now, this is just started going. There's just a few bubbles there. The reason it's just started going is because I made the leaven for the sourdough we're making that you've just seen, that I'm making today. I made that last night, which is part of my method. It's leaving overnight. And that means I use the starter and then I top it up, I refeed it, and it takes a day for them to get going again. Now, you can either leave that in your fridge until you need it, or if you're going to make it every day, then you leave it out. By the end of a few hours time, this will be up here, it will be popping out the lid. That's how active my starter will get, or it is. And I'll try and show that up there. So I've started talking about the ingredients really, but like I say, it's very simple. So we've got flour, we have got oat flour. This is just regular flour. All purpose, not strong. It's very difficult to buy strong flour in Latvia, from my experience. If you know where to get it, then by all means leave a comment below. Oat flour, which is 20% by weight, and it's my starter, some water and some salt. My salt is 2% by dry weight. It sounds like it's a lot, but per slice it's very little, and it's just enough so it's not too salty. I've experimented with these ingredients over many times. I've had many successes and I've had many failures. That's part of the process of making bread. And I don't think bread is particularly, I wouldn't have said it's difficult, but it's not especially easy. It's not especially faff-free. I mean, if you want to make something nice, then it takes a bit of time. If you want convenience, then by all means buy the loaves from a store, which are filled with all sorts of ingredients, which we don't want to go into. So but I've kind of experimented with my recipe method to try and make it as easy as possible. I've looked at recipe of methods which take 3 days to make a loaf of bread, and I've looked at ones that maybe are a bit shorter, and I've tried to get a happy medium here to what works well. And now I've got consistent results with this method and this recipe, and it is both a science and an art, I think, and so that's why it takes time to get right. And you also, of course, there's the one ingredient which is not included here is the environment that you're in, which all has a part to play. I bake my sourdough in the wood stove behind me. That's taken a lot of getting used to because back in the UK I used a fan-assisted oven, and at first, you know, we had strong words with each other, let's just say that. But now I've got used to it. I've got used to its characteristics and how to load it up with the wood and to get the right heat, how to make this sourdough work on a lower heat than perhaps a fan-assisted oven would work. But anyway, I've gone through all the toil and trouble, and now I've got it to work, and now I'm demonstrating it to you. So enough of me rabbiting on. Let's get on, and I will show you what I did last night to get the sourdough started, and then we'll move forward the steps until we see the bake and how the bread turns out. Well, you've seen how it turned out already at the start of the video, but anyway. Let's go on.